whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. I'm in Holland, in Maastricht. Will you look at that? This is the first city walling that was erected in 1229. But obviously I'm not here to talk to you about the history of Maastricht. I'm here to talk to you about a special whiskey. And kudos to Club 23, a Belgian bottler, because they took the initiative. They convinced Wolfburn to bottle a special single malt, especially for the Ukrainian humanitarian organizations. What's not to like? Here she is, the Wolfburn, 7 years old, from 2015 for Ukraine. There you have it. So it's a nice initiative, and although I do realize that when buying this, part of the proceeds will be donated to charity to help Ukrainian people, I realize this is just a very, very small thing that I can do for the Ukrainian people. But hey, Edmund Burke, a famous philosopher, once said, it's better to do a tiny thing than to do nothing at all. I'm paraphrasing here, by the way. But the funny thing is, Wolfburn, they took the initiative from the Belgian Bottler Club 23 and they decided to go global. And so they bottled an additional almost 1,600 bottles with a black capsule. But because the Belgian Bottler Club 23 took the initiative, they told them, well, what we're going to do for you is have a limited release of only 112 bottles with a silver capsule and a special label for the Belgian Ukraine 2020 charity on the box. So it's the same liquid, it's true, but this is the Belgian edition. And obviously, if I can sip for charity, if that's the least I can do to help the Ukrainian people, then what's not to like? Sip away for charity, count me in. So this is a 7 years old Wolfburn, and it is bottled at 46% ABV. Beautiful light golden color. 7 years old, which is basically for Wolfburn already quite high in age. Remember, Wolfburn is a relatively newcomer on the market. There's a couple of other distilleries who've also done some charity bottlings. Springbank and Teeling, those come to mind immediately. But I selected this Wolfburn for this whiskey rambling. Like I said, bottled at 46% ABV and a beautiful light golden, because this is a bourbon cask. There we go. So, on the nose. Well, this is a textbook example of a bourbon-aged Wolfburn, in fact, because I get lots of vanilla, I get some malt sugars, some granular notes in there. I actually smell the grain. It's still relatively young, but without disturbing at all. There's something of sheep's wool in there as well, a lot of licorice. A sigh of wood smoke, pears and gooseberries kick in. And then there is this one lost apricot in there as well. Like I said, young, but quite pleasant on the nose indeed. On the palate then. That's actually a good body. First vanilla and gooseberries arrive. Then I get some honey and the licorice that come by. And that is followed by wood smoke and lots of wood spices, in fact. It's very clean, and it can mask its young age quite well. Not that it has to, in my opinion, but it can mask it. This is quite a mature whiskey already. This is very tasty, I have to say. And the strength is also one of its strengths. That didn't come out right. But the fact that it's at 46% is actually quite nice, because that makes it accessible, quaffable, and it doesn't need any more. There is enough oomph in there already. On the finish then. Finish is long, sweet, softly peppered in there. There's a bit of a peppery bite towards the end, and it's quite satisfying. It's long and satisfying, and I hope that the peace negotiations for Ukraine will be the same, but I will not be holding my breath. A beautiful whiskey, a great initiative, and it also gives an extra, I will give this an extra point for the simple fact that I hope that it will sell out very quickly, because then we can all together do a tiny bit of something for the inhabitants of the country that is affected by Putin's greed and hunger for power. So the Wolfburn, 7 years old, for the Ukrainian humanitarian charity. What's not to like? And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you.